If you have a military administration in the midst of a democracy that we are celebrating today, of all days, why did the president and the Senate president choose today, being Democracy Day in Nigeria, to read those undemocratic and unconstitutional and illegal communications to the National Assembly? I will not even bother to take constructive objections and concerns. Well, that tells you how the APC has reduced Nigeria's democracy to. I take very strong objections to that. And listening to the president's very flowery, otherwise impressive speech, let me say this. It's a good thing to make beautiful declarations of principles and show democratic commitment. Words don't show democratic commitment. What matters is actions, actions and actions. But you cannot be celebrating democracy. You cannot be flaunting yourself as a Democrat on the one hand, and on the other hand, be trampling democracy under your big presidential foot in Rivers State. The president missed a golden opportunity to raise and deepen democracy in Nigeria by restoring on today's Democracy Day democratic and normal civil constitutional rule in Rivers State. Of all the things the president said, the president was silent about Rivers State. And today is about democracy. Today is not about repression. Today is not about suppression of the views of the people of Rivers State. Today is about respecting and upholding the democratic rights under the Constitution and the laws. These issues that some of us feel passionate about, it's not because of Fubara's nationality. It's not about Fubara's party, if he has any. And these days, you can't even be sure which party people belong to. So I'm disappointed, firstly, that the president never said a word about the undemocratic developments in Rivers State, which he has enabled, which he has brought about, which he has sanctioned, and which he continues to sustain. And creating an impression as if all is well. No. As long as any part of Nigeria is under military rule, democracy is endangered in Nigeria as a whole.
The struggle for democracy, typified with the June 12, 1993 election, which was annulled by the military, was a freedom Nigerians wanted, where we can all have a same say, where we can vote for who should be our leader as a nation, who should be our president. That was what June 12 actually means. It means that we would not be governed by the militaries anymore. We won't be governed by military administrator. We won't be governed by sole administrator. That aberration that happened where Bola Tinubu imposed a sole administrator on one part of Nigeria and used the rubber-stamped National Assembly, headed by Akpabio and Tajuddin Abbas, to cement an unconstitutional practice, a precedence that will be forever remembered as one of the things that Bola Tinubu did to destroy democracy in Nigeria. If we would come out of this, okay, is what Seriake Dickson is describing here. As long as one part of Nigeria is under the hold or under the rulership of the military, democracy is in danger in Nigeria. That fight by so many people, the likes of NQ Abiola, Anthony Enahoro, Gani Fawimi, Ken Saro-Wiwa, these people who gave their lives to make sure that Nigerians can speak up and our voices will be heard. That when we criticize government officials for not doing what they were being elected to do, that we will be safe. That's what it meant by that impression that you want to give with a flowery speech on the floor of the National Assembly to make Nigerians believe that things are well in Nigeria. Is what Seriake Dickson is saying. The former Bayelsa state governor is saying that all is not well in Nigeria. Democracy is at risk in Nigeria. And with the current National Assembly that we have now determined that Nigerians have now conclusively concluded that this assembly is the weakest we've ever had and is a rubber stamp assembly, headed by Gospel Akpabio, a man with so many cases. It comes up with one scandal after another. Is exactly what Nigerians have now determined to say this is unconstitutional and that Bola Tinubu destroyed democracy. I said this before. It is often and generally accepted now and confirmed even from the mouth of IBB, as most people already feel and felt and knew already before that. MKO won the 1993 election. And that same feeling is what people carried with the 2023 election, that Peter Obi won that election, fair and square. The same way the military and all that, that's the same way INEC, together, whatever machination they came up with, destroyed that election and say Bola Tinubu won, which we know he didn't win. But just to buttress the point I'm trying to make using Seriake Dickson's comments, elections is what you use to describe democracy. You cannot use your words. The actions that are on the ground shows differently to what you're describing to be real. The reality is the fact that all is not well in Nigeria. The gains of democracy is not felt. In a country where you say the champions of Bola Tinubu says that Bola Tinubu fought for democracy, but Nigerians are saying otherwise, that no, he didn't. Or if he did, what he's done so far is shown to be undemocratic. The champions of Bola Tinubu says he's a Democrat. What we see on ground and the actions states otherwise. And Seriake Dickson actually mentioned it clearly. You cannot trample on democracy under your big presidential feet and say other things, everything is well. No. You're trampling on democracy with your big presidential feet. And then you're telling Nigerians to be patient with you. You cannot seize a state, remove elected officials, and say democracy is still working. Yes, we've had 80 years or thereabout of democracy, of civilian rule. But again, what we've done is that since this APC came in, Nigeria slid into a civilian dictatorship with the help of a National Assembly that is so weak and that rubber stamps everything. I dare to postulate this. If Bola Tinubu comes up after 2027, assuming he wins 2027, God forbid though, and he says he wants to do a third term, with this National Assembly that he has, he will get it. There will be nothing that will stop Bola Tinubu third term if we have Akpabio as our Senate president. That's a fact. Nobody can argue that. Nothing can stop it. So what is going on in Rivers State and across Nigerians? Listen, under the military rule, a lot of journalists were jailed. A lot of them arrested. Today, a lot of journalists have been jailed by this same administration, using the police, citizen advocates, people speaking up against oppression in the government. In this democracy, we're still talking about government's oppression. And you think we're practicing democracy. We're doing what you can describe as forced democracy. It's a pseudo-democracy. So this government cannot tell Nigerians that all is well when we cannot feed. The basic thing a government can do is provide security for lives and properties. It has failed in that. The cost of everything has gone up. Inflation is on the very high. But yet there's corruption in this government, corruption in our National Assembly. So what we're looking at right now is a system that constitutes thievery. It's a system that is put in place to enable one man. And look at the people that fought for democracy. MKO Abiola. King Ibe was with him. Anthony Enaro. Kensao Wiwa. Gani Fayemi. Together you put Femi Falana in it. All these people who fought for democracy. Let them look at this kind of democracy we're practicing today. We have a Senate, a National Assembly that sits back and sits by. And they rubber stamp everything this president wants to do, and they're bribed as well as has been reported in the newspapers. So all is not well in Nigeria. We need to speak up. Listen, 2027 is the fight for the soul of our country. Join your voice in it. Help sensitize others. The people that are feeling the pinch the most, everyone's feeling it, but the people feeling the pinch are those people in the villages, in those rural communities. They're getting killed every day because our government can't provide and provide security for them as they can for anybody anyway. So we need to sensitize them because they will bribe them again to vote for them again, and they will do exactly the same thing, and the cycle will continue. And we don't want that to happen again. So make up your mind to put your voice and contribute to help make Nigeria better. It depends on all of us, the kind of country that we want to have. If we want to have these same people who continue to pillage our nation, then it's up to you and I. But if we want to stop them, let's prepare for 2027. Again, if you're meeting this content for the first time, make sure you put your comment in the comment section. But like, share, subscribe, and recommend this channel to others. But remember, make sure you subscribe. I will catch you up in the next video. Bye-bye for now. God bless you.